Another day, another freaking lift. Today we got legs. Again, I mentioned quads at the end of yesterday's video. We're going to start off with either leg press or hack squat. We'll see what's open. We'll see what I'm feeling in the spur of the moment in the gym. Leaning towards leg press because I have been on a little bit of a hack squatting spree as of the last year. I discovered it, or maybe 2 years. Discovered the machine, and I've just been spamming those. The strength shot up. The quad pump is crazy at all times when you're using the hack squat, but it can be a little tougher on the knees, I believe, just because of I feel like you get more control over the range of the rep as you're going. So it can be a little tougher on the knees. You're able to get a little deeper, bend a little lower. So there's that. So I don't know. I think we'll go with leg press today, maybe then to ease up on the knees a bit. Then, of course, we'll continue with leg extensions, leg curls, and I'll finish off with adductors and some maybe lower back stuff and calves very quickly. I think I'll do adductors, calves, and lower back extensions, or back extensions, I should say. Superset it all together at the end very, very quickly. But yeah, a pretty simple lift today. Legs, what's nice about it is that it's not too complicated. I feel like with chest and back and arms, people like to get into semantics about angles and where you want to pull and joint flexion. But with legs, it isn't that complicated. I feel like all the talk is always around back movements, arm movements, chest movements, but you don't really see it much with legs. And it makes a lot of sense to me because, at the end of the day, you just got to get in there and squat the barbell. There's not really much getting around it. Everyone you see, it's like the big four, the four horsemen of legs on leg day. It's squat, RDL, leg extension, leg curl. Those are the four horsemen of leg day, 100%. If you're not hitting at least 3 of those 4 on your leg day, I don't know what you're doing. That's not a leg day. That's something else. That's an accessory day to me. But you get the idea. Really, the key with legs, I would say more so than other body parts, is focusing on pushing it hard. Again, with chest and back and arms and all that, we talk a lot about making sure we're controlling the rep and making sure we're getting all this. And I don't feel like there's too much worry about going hard, because a lot of the time, for most dudes, I think the pump actually feels good on those movements. And I think most people would agree. But with legs, I don't think the worry is so much with what you're supposed to do. There's not really much choices. What else? You're just gonna do some form of squat, leg press, hack squat, barbell squat, split squat, whatever. It's all the same thing. Or the machines, obviously. The concern is going hard because legs hurt. And let's tie cardio into this. My favorite. The reason cardio is so important is because it starts to play a factor in leg day, and that added variable in the equation can change your lift and what it means to have a good lift. Specifically with leg day, in terms of heart rate and how much you're able to let's say withstand the leg day. Here's what I mean. If you take a guy that has a lot of cardiovascular experience, has done a lot of cardio, runs all the time. Okay, maybe not runs if he's a bodybuilder, does a lot of incline walking, and the cardio's on point, versus a dude that never trains cardio. The guy that's doing his cardio and actually doing the steps and walking is gonna probably be able to recover quicker and do more than the dude that hasn't done any cardio at all. Because leg day is just straight up tiring. You're using your entire body to do your movements. Even if it's really mainly your legs, it feels like everything has gotten taken out of you by the time you're done with your workouts. And cardio is a big factor, of course. But we do need to push it hard. And I feel like that gets neglected a lot on leg day. At the end of the day, weightlifting isn't complex. I know there's a stereotype about lifters being meatheads, but recently there's been a science-based wave. And again, as much as I love the science, it's not good to kind of get stuck up on those specifics when really you're a beginner or an intermediate lifter. I would consider myself maybe more so also in that intermediate category with you guys. The only people that I would consider advanced lifters are those guys that have 10 to 15 years plus experience of lifting under their belts, or are doing it professionally. I mean, those like top like 0.5% of dudes, 0.2% of dudes, those are the cream of the crop that are really having to worry about specifics and movements and stuff like that. The average lifter, or let's say the avid lifter, such as me and you, doesn't really need to worry themselves too much about the specifics in the slight edge. A slight edge at this point isn't the game changer. It's not a game changing factor. What is a game changing factor as maybe not a casual lifter, as an intermediate to advancing. Let's do that. That sounds more positive to me. To an advancing lifter is pushing it hard, and that is the bottom line. It doesn't get much easier than that. And pushing it hard has kind of it's a lost art. It's very easy to focus on like optimizing movements, and you can get stuck on that. But I like to simplify things down to just go hard and give it your best effort. And eventually, you can start tying in, okay, maybe I want to change up this movement here. You don't want to do the same thing all the time, or else nothing's going to change. But sometimes you need to stick with what you're doing to actually make some sort of progress. And the one thing that never leaves you is training hard. Now, okay, training hard, though, comes with a caveat. We hear a lot of, let's say, I don't want to say riffraff. What's the word I'm looking for? Hearsay. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I'm seeing a lot of hearsay nowadays. Hearing a lot of birdies chirping, saying, "Well, you want to leave 1 to 2 reps RIR, reps in reserve." Okay, I agree with that. Sure, that is scientifically accurate. You want to push it close to failure or to failure. Not failure every set, but you want to get damn close. But I counter with this. How do you know where your failure is at if you never actually get there? See, the mind is a interesting little beast. It's a funny little bugger, a sly little dog. The mind likes to try to weasel its way out of tough situations and pain, because I mean that's what we're adapted to do: avoid pain, avoid death. That's biologically ingrained in us. But when it comes to the gym, this is a bad thing. We need to push our limits to actually know where we can get. Now, I'm not talking go Tom Platz level like 1,000 and like borderline like hospitalize yourself doing leg day. No. But if you've never pushed it to the point where you need like a spotter to like re-rack you, how do you know you've actually gotten like close to failure? And a lot of the time, guys will stop like at the point when it starts to hurt. And this is especially true again with legs. You don't see this much with chest, because people love pumping out those reps. But on legs, man, I mean, once those reps get grindy, even I'll admit it, it's not fun. I mean, you feel accomplished afterwards. But as you're doing it, your mind and your body is screaming for you to just straight up stop. But you need to fight through that. Get through those reps and really see where your limits are at. Not every day, but maybe every once in a while. If you never push your limits, you never know how far you'll go. So, there you go. Getting philosophical again. Fell down another rabbit hole. Let's simplify things. I am 50 trophies off of 10k trophies on Clash Royale. I had to switch my deck from Lavaloon Clone to, some of you saw this. It was a modified Hogquake deck, except I replaced the Earthquake with Evo Dart Goblin, and I was also using Evo Firecracker. And, okay, I apologize in advance for using, not in advance, I apologize for using this deck, okay? It's no fun when you have a guy spamming like level 15 Firecracker, Dart Goblin, Hog Rider at the bridge like every second he can get. But I hit a wall, unfortunately. Switched over to an even crazier deck, an even nastier deck. So here's what I'm running right now. I checked the top like Ultimate Champion at the time of recording, maybe like an hour before the recording. It was a Betfast, if you know him. Betfast. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Anyways, he was running Fire Spirit, Skeletons, Evo Archers, Golden Knight, Goblin Barrel, Log, Fireball, and I'm forgetting I believe it was Ice Spirit. How could I forget? So Ultimate Cycle. with Golden Knight and Archers kind of carrying that defense in the Fireball. Now, I made a modification. I switched out the Evo Skeletons for Evo Cannon because it was just too many 1 elixir cards for me. No. It was, I forgot Fire Spirit. Excuse me. That's what I was forgetting. There was a Fire Spirit in there. I switched out the Fire Spirit for Evo Cannon. So, just to repeat, I was running Evo Cannon, Evo Archers, Ice Spirit Skeletons, Golden Knight, Goblin Barrel, Fireball, Log. There we go. I think I made a mistake the first time. And let me just tell you, that deck, if you know how to play Clash Royale, is disgusting. Holy crap. I mean, you can't make a single mistake. But if you don't make a mistake, it's just machine-like. I played 2 dudes in a row running Evo Royal Recruits. I believe it was Royal Recruits Piggies for the first guy. And the second one was playing just like Royal Recruits spam. It was Goblin Gang Royal Recruits. You know, all the spam cards. Dark Goblin, I believe, Firecracker. But the deck is disgusting. It can really counter everything if you know how to play your cards right. Tough game. I'm happy Jinxie has revived it because it's gotten a lot more competitive as of late, which has proved nice. Enough of the Clash Royale yapping. A little bit of a later lift today, if I didn't mention that. I usually lift morning-ish. I mean, it is summertime, so, you know, you can kind of do whatever you want, but I'm going a little later. A little bit later. It's around 5 p.m. now. Not my usual time to go to the gym, but it's a Thursday. Don't expect it to be too crowded. Although it might be since it's right after work, but hey, we'll just see what happens. Anyways, guys, let's just get in there, have a nasty lift, and get this thing rolling. No pose down after the video today. I think we'll leave the pose downs for a while, and we'll start coming back to them when the semester starts. I have an idea for a video coming soon with an amateur bodybuilder that I know. This guy's an actual amateur bodybuilder. I was clickbaiting a little bit with the D1 powerlifter stuff, but actual amateur bodybuilder. He can actually pose. So I'll have him come do a little bit of a training video for me, and I'll just post maybe on a rest day we'll do like a posing clinic. We'll just call it that. Anyways, let's just get this lifting. Enough said. Okay, definitely doing leg press first. Knees are feeling a little sore today, but again, a little example of like the difference between quad focused versus like glute focused leg press. Generally, and this goes for, again, a lot of leg movements, we've mentioned this before, if you're going a little bit lower with your feet on the like where you're placing them, whether it's on a press or like down on the squat, the lower you're going, the more you're going to be biasing your quads generally, and the higher you go up like this. Now this is very exaggerated, but you're going to be using a lot more of your glutes here. So let's do a little bit of an example. So when I'm going lower, there we go, you can see a little bit more knee flexion here, and you see my quads working. Okay, there's a couple reps there. If I move a little bit higher, slide a bit down the seat, a lot of that tension is now down here as opposed to up here. A little bit less flexion, and I'm getting more of a stretch near the bottom. So depending on what you want to work, there's no right or wrong way, but adjust your placement based off what you want to do. Yeah, I think we'll do 3 heavy sets here. I'll do a couple of workup sets, and then we'll get right into the heavy ones. Let's do it. Okay, here we go. If I get more than 10, I'm moving up a weight next set. Let's do this. Okay, that might have been a bit light. Move up. Now, an important detail with these is making sure you don't lock out at the top. And by lockout, I mean you go for, like, this isn't a lockout. I'm talking totally straight. Now, there's a difference between being slightly bent at the top and completely straight. You can see the difference here. I can't go possibly any further. If I do, I break my leg. And I think you've all seen enough horror videos of those guys loading up more than they can handle, then fully locking out, and even sometimes not fully locking out, and they just get crumbled under it. The leg folds in half. So again, don't lock out at the top. And at the bottom, we don't want to go too deep, or you kind of get your lower back kind of start like rolling off the seat, and your lumbar spine is not going to be too happy. Anyways, I added an additional plate, so I don't know if you can see here, but we have 5 on each side, and there's like one just like randomly on top. It was there before I started, just left it. Anyways, slightly lower foot position. Neutral if you want to do both. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, one more of those. Okay. Now, I normally let my heart rate kind of come down, again, as I mentioned, for most movements before, like, that's how I know I'm ready for the next set. It takes about, like, 60 to 120 seconds, just depending. But with legs, I don't like to quite let my heart rate get all the way down because I feel like it takes too long because, you use so much energy. You're just going to take you another 4 or 5 minutes before you're, like, fully ready to go, like, almost fresh at, like, a new set. So I kind of envision it as, like, kind of like Demon Slayer breathing. If you watch Demon Slayer, pretty freaking badass. I kind of think of it as like I'm doing some form of like, I don't know, like water breathing to like get aligned and focused, and just maybe like gaslight myself into thinking I'm ready after like maybe like 2 minutes, even if I'm not totally ready. So little gas now, but I focused really heavily on my breathing during rest. Very in through the nose, out through the mouth, trying to focus as much as I can on getting the heart rate down. There is a science behind that. That's how it works with meditation. That's besides the point. Whatever. Let's just go hard here. Glasses are coming off. Things are getting serious. Okay. Remember to brace the core. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, that's enough there. I've seen a couple of spots. If you hold your breath, you can pass out. Let's just move on to leg extension. Now, again, I gotta compromise, do the plate loaded one, although it's not my favorite, but it's okay. We'll make do. We'll get a nice, cool 3 sets in here, isolateral. Just because I don't want to load up like 7 plates on here so I can go double-legged. So let's just get right into it. Again, idea, push hard. Have the Jeff Nippard rectus femoris setup rolling. So, okay. Oof. Oof. Okay. Again, don't let your butt come off the seat, or else you won't use as much quad. Okay. 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 All right. Yeah, weight was good. We'll do a couple more. Okay. Number 2 here.
Work.
Okay. All right, switch legs. Okay. My goal for the last set got caught up in a bit of a yap session between set 1 and 2, so a lot of 25 on there. All right, one more.
Bro, you'll get a little less shear and force on your knee if you bring that seat up.
Okay, as you can see that nasty sweat stain there, we're gonna make sure to wipe down the seat after the set. But we had a professional tell us to try to go a little more forward. Yeah. Okay, I'll try that. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So we have the seat set a little bit more forward, and we're gonna try to hit the rectus femoris more by flexing the foot up. This is expert help, as you can just see right here. So I'm gonna give it a try right now. So upward flexion, seat a little bit more forward. Apparently we can hit the muscle a bit harder, but of course I'm gonna wipe down the seat after this. Let's go. Oh, we got a hamstring cramp on the right leg. Okay, that's good.
One.
Okay, let's drop that this.
Pick me up. Vastus medialis, toes out. Vastus
Widen it as well.
vastus
Okay.
lateralis,
Yeah.
toes in. Vastus intermedius, rectus femoris.
Okay.
Toes up, dorsiflexion.
Got you. That makes sense. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Work.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That was good. So we'll definitely have to look into like toe flexion and ankle flexion and how that like affects part of the quad you're hitting. But I guess if you have more of like a neutral one, so your toes are like this, up like that on your ankle, I'm hearing that you can get more rectus femoris involved versus if you go in compared to out, you can do the internus, and I think he either said medialis or externus. So I think I'm going to look into those. I'll have a little discussion tomorrow, but let's move on to hamstrings and finish out. Now, there's always two sides to the story with everything. So rectus femoris, ankle flexion, seat position, it's very complicated, but as long as you push it hard, I think you should be good. But this is a question for the experts to handle. I mean, as much as I've been lifting, there's still a lot I don't know, so there's always an opportunity to learn. And even though I've been doing this for like 6 years, I don't know everything. You can always improve. But anyways, let's get right here into some hamstrings. I'm going to switch up the movement today. I haven't done this laying down one in a while. But here we go. Okay, one more. Okay. Okay, maybe one click up next set. That's good though. Okay, let's go up another tick. Got another little sidetrack conversation with the boys, but here we go. 2 more hard sets here. Oof. 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 One more. Oh, I done this. You know, didn't look like it was close to failure there, but man, I feel like the laying down one has a crazy stretch. Okay, one more. All right, let's finish. Come on. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Whew. And that's a wrap. Let's get to the car. Now, I suppose the lesson today is there's always more you can learn. And again, like I mentioned this earlier, as experienced as I am with legs and lifting and all that, it's quite a complicated art, the quad. I mean, there's so much going on in there with like little like supporting muscles, and I mean, you have the externus, the medialis, the femoris. I mean, there's so much going on there, and it's a lot to account for. And again, not to overcomplicate things, but it's not a problem when you're first starting out, but for you advanced guys out there, once you've reached a point where you really want to focus on specific parts, then you can try to hone in your movements and technique to try to gain a slight edge on specific body parts. For example, so I kind of had a little bit of a debate, slightly off camera, with, you might have noticed, it was one of the Genesis coaches, right there, and we were talking about seat position and like how to do the rectus femoris, like how to hit the rectus femoris on the leg extension, and he came up to me and was like, oh, if you want to try to avoid getting some of that shearing force on your knee. So I'm talking about the joint, like, you know, we're talking about the cartilage, like the knee moving in its socket, like shearing on the joint. Like I'm talking quite literally, like scraping as you're flexing your knee. He was saying that if I want to reduce that, I should move the seat up. But then I hit him with the Jeff Nippert, of course, my my savior of the gym. Well, if you move the seat back, doesn't that help you target the rectus femoris more? And then he suggested that I move the seat forward and try to flex my toe up, like, and keep it like in the middle, so like this, not externally or internally rotated, so that I could, one, hit the quad harder, he said. And I'm not too sure what he meant by that, but I think I get at what he was trying to say. I think generally more like a stable pump, I guess, if that makes sense to you. And where was I going with that? Oh, and of course, you have to keep that toe flexed throughout the reps to target the rectus femoris. Now, those are two kind of opposing philosophies of the quad, I suppose. But which one is right? I have no idea. But what I will say is I hit both of them hard. I tried his way out for my last set, and it also felt good. So, again, maybe if your knees are a little bit weaker, or you really don't want to put that much tension on your knees, try the seat forward, toe flexed strategy. It's very complex stuff. I would. This was an official call out to Jeff Nippert to answer this question. I'm quite confused here now, but it's okay. I think as long as you're pushing it hard, again, you don't need to overcomplicate things. But yeah, I mean, back to this pushing it hard thing. We are in a pandemic of easy lifters, man. I'm talking the low effort lifters. No. That is not what we like around here. That's like people who like skip legs or like take legs like super easy, or like the equivalent of Mega Knight players in Clash Royale. Mega Knight. I mean, it's all upper body and like no. I mean, there's no substance behind it. Like I don't feel the skill coming out of it. Anyways, that was completely unrelated. A little bit of a tangent, but it's okay. Skipped cardio today just because, I don't know, my body's aching a bit, not really feeling it. Again, I felt the temptation of sleeping late. It's funny how that works. I didn't even have anything to wake up for, and I slept super late, woke up early. I don't know why I did that to myself, but hey, it's okay. We'll get an early rest tonight. For those of you guys that really want to get your lifts in, well, sleep, I'm telling you, it's really that factor for deciding how hard you can go. I get this feeling when I have a lack of sleep, where it's like a feeling of almost nausea if I start pushing it hard, and then like my brain is tired. Like I feel like there's a mental stop that gets added when you're fatigued, especially around that 6 hours and less sleep range. You start getting a little bit of that mental stop, and it increases the less sleep you get, where your body does not want to push because it just wants to rest. I mean, it should make logical sense. Your body's telling you, man, I need to sleep and recover now, and you're trying to tell it, no. I want a 6-plate squat. Two very opposing ideas, I guess. I don't think that's the right word, but it's okay. I don't know if you've noticed, but I like playing with my grammar a little bit. Anyways, I think we're getting a little sidetracked for today. Plan for tomorrow, chest, I believe, or is it rest? I believe it's chest day. Yeah, we're gonna do. I think we're gonna try something a little different tomorrow. I want to do barbell incline. I haven't done barbell incline bench press in a while, so we'll try that. I think that'll be nice for the stretch. I just feel like there's something different about barbell compared to like Smith machine, where like you can get more of a. I don't know. Like I feel like because I can fully control it and my arms aren't quite even, I can get more of an even pump because I can control the angle at which I'm pushing a little bit better. But anyways, that's a discussion for tomorrow on tomorrow's Card Talk. Thank you for tuning in, you animals. I'll see you barbarians tomorrow, bright and early, for our lift. With, of course, my body full of electrolytes. Shout out Liquid IV, please sponsor me. Anyways, that's enough for today. I'm gonna get home and watch some anime and hop on PlayStation for the night. Peace out. Thanks for watching. See ya.